It's a well-known saying that a grandfather relives his childhood through his grandson. This might be because when someone becomes a father, they can become so preoccupied with fulfilling their responsibilities that they tend to overlook the most significant and crucial responsibility: providing love and time to their children. In the fast-paced environment we live in, we often find ourselves caught up in fulfilling our various needs and obligations. The day passes by unnoticed from morning to evening. Typically, we encounter three types of families in our surroundings. Firstly, there are families where parents, grandparents, and siblings all reside together. When a bride comes from her own home to her husband's family, whether from India or elsewhere, it can be quite overwhelming. The initial days are filled with joy and celebration, but after a while, everyone gets absorbed in their duties. There's rarely enough time to observe the customary rituals associated with a newlywed bride, which hold significant meaning from her background. It's important to note that no one is at fault here. Life in this country is such that it takes more than one person living in a household to build a nation, and therefore, the household must function efficiently. Expenses become a constant concern, everyone becomes engrossed in their respective responsibilities, and even the newlywed bride starts participating in these obligations. If the bride has come from India, she may be assigned various household chores or responsibilities within the extended family. In cases where there is a family-owned business, the newlywed bride may also become involved in its operations. If the girl is born and educated in England, the traditional Mendi ceremonies and pre-marriage festivities that used to be part of her community are limited. Soon, life returns to its usual rhythm. The primary difference lies in the shift of household and family dynamics for the girl, while for the family, a new chapter begins. Time continues to flow, and one day, the bride transforms into a mother. In this role, she attends to the baby's needs, ensuring timely feedings and diaper changes. She also manages the daily household chores, including bread baking. The father of the child returns home in the evening, eats dinner, and retires to bed, seemingly exhausted from the day's activities. Grandparents, too, find solace in the thought of resting for a few hours upon their return home after fulfilling their duties within the community. As days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, a child's growth and maturity can be gauged through their birthdays. Consider which of these children's childhoods mirror your own. Was it the child whose mother attended to household and community duties, or the father who was burdened with concerns for the nation's well-being? Or perhaps the grandparents who, despite their old age, continue to support the household by fulfilling their community responsibilities. Now, let's take a glimpse into another type of family, where both the husband and wife are actively engaged in their respective community duties. A few days after their wedding, the newlywed couple, like any other guests, settles into their home. The husband focuses on his responsibilities and duties, while the wife attends to her own. Sometimes, one of them may have nighttime duties, and they might not see each other for an entire week. Despite this, both of them actively participate in their community duties to meet the household expenses. Even though there are only two of them in the household, they must pay the mortgage, water bills, and utility bills in full. Hence, they manage the household affairs together. When a new guest arrives at their home, they must go to their respective communities for a few weeks of leave. The husband might not even know when his wife will return from her community, but he is confident that they will eventually reunite. However, the concern about household expenses persists. To alleviate this, the mother of the newborn child seeks a part-time caregiver who can look after their child while they are at work. This often involves seeking help from grandparents, other relatives, or friends who live nearby, but the responsibilities don't end there. Preparing the child for the day ahead, including packing their belongings and entrusting them to the caregiver, is part of the daily routine. The child spends the entire day away from their parents. In the evening, when the parents return home, they bring their child with them. As soon as they return, the mother must start preparing dinner and the morning essentials. Considering the demands of their community duties, household maintenance, and bread making, it becomes apparent that parents have limited time to spend with their children. The child grows up not feeling entirely at home. The place where they come to sleep is not their true home. Their parents, who try to provide happiness through financial means, cannot engage in play or spend quality time with them. Such parents inadvertently teach their children to see a different perspective of childhood. Finally, there are families with considerable wealth but absolutely no time to spare. While these families are not widespread, they do exist. By toiling day and night, they elevate their community to the highest realms of prosperity. In the pursuit of wealth, they sometimes lose track of how many years of their lives they have dedicated to accumulating it. Their primary concern revolves around how to earn money or establish new communities. In such families, when weddings take place, the bride and groom often already know each other. Amidst the festivities and celebrations, it is not uncommon for individuals in the same social circles to form connections, finding someone who warms their hearts. The parents in these families often trust the decisions made by their children, believing that whatever choices they have made must be right. In high society, marriages are celebrated grandly. Newlyweds embark on journeys around the world, celebrating their honeymoon. Upon their return, the husband resumes his business, while the wife engages in her social activities and party preparations. Evening meals are often enjoyed outside the home, whether due to business meetings or invitations from friends. Returning home late at night and departing early for community duties in the morning becomes routine. In such households, the number of family members may be 2 or more, but having assistance is crucial, whether it's for house cleaning or managing various tasks. When a newlywed bride becomes a mother, her home is often filled with festivities. However, amidst these celebrations, the attention given to the child's well-being is directed towards ensuring that they are not left crying in their mother's absence. Childminders, helpers, or attendants tend to the child's needs, and the child enjoys an abundance of new and expensive clothes and toys. Yet, what the child truly misses is the warmth of their mother's embrace and the time of their father. The parents are primarily focused on their businesses, and while they can afford to provide all sorts of luxuries with their wealth, love remains a priceless commodity. Parents in these circumstances may inadvertently neglect their children's emotional needs. Can you still recall your childhood? If you can take a moment to spend time with your children after reading these thoughts, then I would consider my writing a success. Always remember that money can purchase many things, but it can never replace the love of parents. The true wealth for parents lies in their children. Each child has the potential to remember their childhood, and I pray for that realization. Dr. Madhu Kalia, London.